Now then, YouTube, I'm the Toff Man. Welcome back, finally, part 11 of 999. That's right, guys, we are back. Now, I've got to say that this is the last part that you will see on my main channel. If you haven't subscribed to my second channel yet, then subscribe to my second channel. It's going to be a link in the description below. I've said it numerous times in a couple of update videos, but just to make damn sure that people know where this series is going, I'm going to do an episode of each of the series that I've been covering, and then put them on my main channel and say, you know what, this is the last episode you're going to see on my main channel, and then it's going to go over to my second channel. 999 will still be continuing, but it will be on my second channel. Links to that is going to be in the description below. So, I've totally forgotten all of these people's voices. I'm going to have to re-familiarise myself with the storyline a little bit as well, because it's been a while, guys. I've been so sucked up in FIFA and stuff that the other things have just been neglected, and this was one of them, unfortunately. So, June, we are stuck in the freezer. I remember this. We were stuck in the freezer. Junpei looked at her dumbfounded. I don't know why I've suddenly turned into Sean Connery. Despite my looks, I'm the queen blech. I mean the queen clean. And the clean blech. The queen of random. Oops. Stop it. I wasn't over there. Now I don't want to quit. Stop it. Knowledge. Looks bad to mess up when you're showing off. Oh, mumble. Oh, you're so cold. You're so cold. Your mouth's going numb. Yef. What's fight? You're just doing that on purpose, aren't you? June giggled and did her best to hide her guilt. At least she was still feeling good enough to joke around, Junpei told himself. Come on, guys, man. Do you think that's kind of weird? I wonder why it doesn't turn into a liquid first. Santa was now shivering at an astounding rate, but his curiosity seemed unaffected. Junpei, however, was not in a mood to discuss science. He wanted out of the freezer now, or it did strike Junpei as rather odd. Yeah, I'll go with... Shall I go with that? I'll go with that. Why not? It did seem rather odd to Junpei, and you couldn't think about it. I don't know why. I don't know what we're on about. I think it's liquid oxygen or fucking something like that. I can't remember what it is now. Carbon dioxide? I don't know. June answered. But it can turn into a liquid. Carbon dioxide turns into a liquid if you put it under high enough pressure. That's right. That's right. We're talking about carbon dioxide. But at 1 atmosphere, normal air pressure, it won't turn into a liquid, right, man? That's right. Instead of melting, it'll do what's called sublimating, and change immediately from a solid state to a gaseous one. See, that is weird, man. Water's a liquid between 32 degrees and 212 degrees. So why isn't that the case for carbon dioxide? What? Water is a liquid at 212 degrees. Are you having some sort of Gia? I always learnt that boiling point was fucking 100 degrees. Am I lying here? Are they on about... They're probably on about Fahrenheit. You know, these American way of doing things. So why isn't that the case for carbon dioxide, man? June replied with an answer that stunned both of them. There's a kind of ice that doesn't turn into liquid when it goes above 32 degrees. I heard about it. Its melting point is 96 degrees. Ice with a melting point of 96 degrees? You mean there's water that freezes at 96 degrees, man? Yeah. Well, you could also look at it as ice that won't melt until it's 96 degrees. Water that freezes at 96 degrees. Ice that won't melt until it's 96 degrees. Junpei was cold as hell, but this was too interesting to ignore. We're stuck in a freezer, freezing our tits off, and they're going on about fucking carbon dioxide. Makes perfect sense, doesn't it? He did his best to warm up by rubbing his arms and then stamping his feet. Then put the question to June. So, what's this ice with a melting point of 96 degrees called? I heard it's called Ice 9. Ice 9, man? Originally, Ice 9 was a made-up substance invented by a science fiction author. But recently scientists have discovered that a substance actually exists. Wait, hold up. So this thing is called Ice 9? Or is it water? Like I said, if the ice is over 96 degrees, it'll be a liquid. If it's under that, it'll solidify. So you could think of it as a polymorph of H2O. Here, think of it like diamonds and graphite. They're both made of carbon, right? But depending on the structure of the crystallization, the hardness and the structure are completely different. So you're saying normal water and this Ice 9 are like that? Yep. She wasn't finished. Have you heard the story about the crystallization of glycerin? For 150 years after the discovery of glycerin, people cooled it, warmed it, and did all sorts of things to it. But whatever they did, it never crystallized. However, one day in 1920... Oh my god. We're dying here of hypothermia. We're going on about glycerin. Well, I did ask for it, didn't I? Some glycerin that was en route to England by ship was discovered to have crystallized during the trip. Naturally, scientists worldwide wanted to research this new crystallized form of glycerin and began asking for samples of the seed. A seed is, of course, a sample of the original crystallized substance. With a seed crystal, further crystallization of glycerin would be a simple matter. However, something very strange happened. Not only did the glycerin encouraged by seed crystals began to crystallize, nearby samples did as well. It didn't end there. After that day, all glycerin in the world began to crystallize normally, naturally when cooled to less than 64 degrees. Before that day, no matter how glycerin was cooled, it refused to crystallize. But once the crystallization had begun, it was almost like, how do I put it? It was almost like all the glycerin in the world was communicating. Let me just grab a drink here, guys. All this talking making me throat go dry. All this looking at ice in the background making me throat go dry. It was almost like all the glycerin in the world was communicating. Communicating in some way that we can't sense. Junpei was honestly impressed. I was kind of annoyed. No, I'm honestly impressed by that. That's pretty good. Was honestly impressed. It was in fact a pretty interesting story. If his penis wasn't going introvert right now because it's that fucking cold. I mean, come on, let's get on with it, shall we? Wow. That's pretty interesting. But, what does that have to do with Ice 9? What does all this have to do with a fucking freezer? Come on! To his surprise, it was Santa and not June who answered. What she's saying is it's a lot like Ice 9. What happened, I mean? A lot like... That would be bad. If water everywhere started freezing at 96 degrees, man, it'd be the end of the world, man. Junpei felt Santa might not be treating the idea of the end of the world with the proper concern. At any rate, we're not going to have to worry about the end of the world unless we can get out of here pretty damn quick, man. He was right. Junpei was shivered. Junpei was shivered. Junpei shivered. Just remembering he was in the middle of a freezer. Talking about glycerin. Alright guys, I think that's enough of that, man. I didn't think we'd get quite this far off topic. I mean, I know I'm kind of at fault here, but we can't be screwing around anymore, man. Seriously. I might go by the name Santa right now, but I don't want to grow up in Iceland. I freaking hate the cold. So let's get cracking, alright? We gotta find a way out of here, man. That's right, we do. Santa stomped off because there's all that space to stomp off into. Clearly doing his best to pretend the cold wasn't affecting him. Well, his little avatar says otherwise. Selfish, isn't he? Thought Junpei to himself. Still, Santa was right, and it was high time they got back to their search. The story of Ice 9 had interested him, but there'd be a time to think about that once they'd gotten out of the freezer. Junpei looked at June, nodded, and resumed his search of the room. Finally, we're back. So we need to do something with this. No good. I can't hit it hard enough to break it. Maybe it just needs more of a shock, you know, man. More of a shock? What's this here? What about chunk of pork? Can I use that on it? There's ice surrounding the doorknob. Hey, Junpei. Didn't you find some dry ice earlier, man? Yeah. There's warm water coming out of that pipe. Warm water and dry ice? What do you think would happen if we put that stuff in a sealed container together? That's a good point. Dry ice. I don't have a sealed container. Maybe there's one lying around. What about that up there? No? Everything's frozen in here. It doesn't look like there's anything else interesting. Why is there water coming out of a pipe? I've got to ask. Frozen chicken. Just in case we got peckish. Nope, nothing else. Nothing else in here. Apparently not. Fair enough. What's that over there? No, it won't let me do anything. Nothing special about it, it's saying to me. There is water somewhere. What's this here? Ooh. I think... Oh, water bottle. Nice. We've got a container now. What's this? And a rope. My god, we've got tons of stuff. Is that it? There isn't anything else in here that's useful. Okay. Let's go back. Turn around. Bright eyes. Every now and then I fall apart. Where's this pipe that's having water out of it? I'm not seeing one. There really isn't anything else left in here. There must be... There we are. It's a thin pipe. Fantastic. Oh, there's the water. Right, okay. Right, well, let's get the water bottle. There's water dripping from this pipe. It looks like when the pipe burst, the water hit the doorknob and froze it in place. This water actually seems almost warm. I mean, yeah, exactly how. There's warm water flowing through it. Wait, I want to use that on it. I know there's warm water. Right, do I have to use... Right, okay. Let's go in here. Combine the water bottle with the dry ice. It won't work. Okay. I would have thought it would have done. Well, I know there is. I want to try and get it in the water bottle. That's the point. Let's start off by putting the dry ice into the water bottle. I tried that, but the dry ice is too big. Well, you got to find out a way to make it smaller then, don't you, genius? Ah, okay. Right. Can we use this frozen chicken to bash up this dry ice? Yes, we can. Alright, the dry ice is now in all pieces. Right, dry ice crumbled. Let's combine that with the water bottle. I'm going to put these pieces of dry ice into the water bottle. Good stuff. Right, we've got a water bottle with dry ice in it. It's quite dangerous, this. Right, now we've got that. Let's use it on this. There's warm water flowing from the pipe. Exactly. I want to use it on it. I wonder if we can use that on it, you know. No? What now, genius? There's ice surrounding the doorknob. I know there is. Not yet, Junpei. We're not going to get the result we want unless you hook that bottle to the doorknob somehow. Okay. It's got to explode right next to the ice on the doorknob, man. We've got to figure out a way to attach the bottle to the doorknob. Okay. We can do this. I need to figure out how I'm going to attach the water bottle to the doorknob. Do I have to then combine this with that? And let's just tie a rope on here. Ta-da! A water bottle bomb. Oh my god. This sounds awesome. Here it is. Warm water dripped from the ruptured pipe near the door. Junpei pulled out the water bottle filled with dry ice, let a good amount of water fall in, and then quickly sealed it up tight. The makeshift bomb complete, he tied it to the doorknob as quickly as he could manage the cold. God. Alright, that's set. So, what do we do now? We just need to give it a little, a tap, man. The bottle's already about to pop. If we just throw a rock or something at it, it'll fall off on its own. A small rock. A small rock. Junpei looked down at the floor. Just so happens. Scattered across it were pieces of dry ice left over from the larger chunk he'd crushed earlier. Alright, this ought to do it the trick. He pulled his sleeve down over his hand to keep from getting burned and grabbed the chunk of dry ice. It was a pretty good size. About as big as a pool ball. He figured it would be just about the right size. Alright guys, stand back. Actually, we probably should hide somewhere. In the trapdoor, get in. Both Santa and June looked at him with new concern. Where exactly do you expect us to hide, genius, man? There isn't really anywhere big enough. Well, yeah, there is. Look, right here. We can hide in there. Junpei pulled open the door to the small cellar. Whoops. We can hide in there. Come on. Get inside, quick. Santa and June nodded and jumped down into the hole. Junpei quickly followed. In his hand, he could feel the chill of the frozen carbon dioxide even through his sleeve. He tightened his grip, took aim, and prepared to throw. Alright, here it goes. 3, 4, 5. You're counting the wrong way. Oops. That is a really sad excuse for a joke, man. Sorry, dude. Alright, for real this time. You guys ready? Yes. Whenever you're ready. Just throw the damn thing, man. Alright, here I go. 3, 2, 1. Junpei threw the chunk of dry ice as hard as he could. With the same motion, he ducked down into the cellar with Santa and June, just as... shit broke loose. Junpei leapt out of the cellar and ran to the door. Da 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 da. Junpei! The ice on the door! Is it gone? Yeah, it's gone. The blast must have shattered it, man. Yes. Alright, let's see if it opens. Junpei grabbed the knob and pushed with all his might. And I'm back in this damn fucking kitchen again. The door gave way easily and all three of them tumbled out of the freezer at once. Hooray! We're out! June, relieved, collapsed onto the floor. Move! Man! Santa shoved past Junpei and ran straight to the grill, which he immediately grabbed. Oh! God damn it, hot, fuck! Man! He proceeded to kick the grill in a futile but amusing fit of rage. But where was Lotus? That's a good point, actually. Where is she? It took Junpei only a moment to find her. She was sitting on the counter, idly scratching her chest. And what a big chest she's got as well. Welcome back. I was starting to get tired of waiting for you guys. There she is. With a great yawn, Lotus lowered herself off the counter. Junpei clenched his teeth and walked toward her. What were you doing? What do you mean, what was I doing? I was waiting for you. We were gonna die. Oh yeah? But you didn't. So everything worked out alright, didn't it? What the hell? Just kidding. It might not look like it, but I was really worried. Don't give me that crap. I'm telling the truth. I mean, if you died, then I'd be in trouble too. If you died, then I'd be stuck here and I'd die too. See? I did all I could. I even looked around to see if there was anything I could use to pry open the door, but I couldn't find anything. So all I could do was wait. I mean, what else did you want me to do? Call the cops? It was true that there wasn't much she could have done, but something about her tone. Junpei gritted his teeth. Fine. But there's one thing I have to ask you. What's that? You didn't close the door, did you? What? You think I closed the door on you? Why would I do something like that? It closed on its own. I told you before, if you die, then I'd die too. She was right, and Junpei knew it. Without them, she'd be in very serious trouble. It seemed that an accident was the only explanation for the door's closure. If Lotus had really wanted to kill them, all she would have to do was bar the door from the outside. And she hadn't. Well, she hadn't done anything. The most she was guilty of was laziness, or negligence, not attempted murder. Junpei swallowed his anger and did his best to apologise. Well, I'm sorry I doubted you. Oh yes, well that's alright, as long as you understand. Lotus looked away and twirled her hair between her fingertips. His vengeance against the grill complete, Santa swaggered back towards Junpei and Lotus. Hey, no more squaring around, you two, man. Break time's over. Especially for you, lady. You've just been sitting on your fat ass while fat ass of yours while we've been freezing to death, man. How rude. I was plenty busy. Yeah. How about you put all that energy into something besides bitching, man? Let's go. And I think that's a good time to end that episode there, guys. Episode 11, it is back. We are back in this kitchen once again, but we are armed and dangerous because we have a chunk of pork. We never had this chunk of pork before, guys, and I've got an idea of what I would like to do about this since it's frozen. Well, you'll see next episode. But my next episode, don't forget, will be on my second channel. From now on, that series will be all on there. So make sure you go over and subscribe over to there so that you can get notifications on when I upload new episodes. But until then, guys, I've been the Toff Man. Thanks very much for watching, and as always, stay safe.